Richard Schaefer is apparently, he's frustrated, flustered, flabbergasted, to use another adjective, because the American TVs won't pick up the World Boxing Super Series tournament. They won't pick up the rights, and we're going to talk about why not. This your boy CJ Goodfellow. We back with the Boxing Clinic. Early morning grind. Y'all know what it is. Usually, I'll be at work, but I had an injury once again. So we talking that boxing-ish. And, again, follow my boys, Moni Brown TV, Trap House Boxing. Go show them some love, man. Love those channels, man. But, it's not hard to tell, maybe think of the Nas song, which Illmatic might be the greatest rap album of all time, but that's another conversation for another day. It's not hard to tell. You got one American in the whole tournament. You told Andrew Tabiti, which I understand don't have a lot of juice, being a cruiserweight in America, that he couldn't be on. So, and the one American you got in Robert Brant, he ain't really been on nothing but Showbox, So he don't have any pull. So nobody wants to show these guys on TV, on American TV, because they don't appeal to the casual public. Now, the hardcore fans I'll talk to, like the homie Dexcon, a couple of the other homies that talk to boxing, a lot of them wonder, like, why is it on TV? Because the people that matter, the casual fans that actually make up the majority of the viewership, they don't know who, for the most part, who Chrissy Banks Jr. is in America. They don't know who Callum Smith is. They don't know who, Usyk is and the rest of the cruiserweight tournament, which I gave mad love to yesterday, saying that might be the GOAT of professional boxing tournaments already. I think it surpassed the Super Series. The Super 6 already, because it's just dope. The cruiserweight is so much talent from 1 to 10. It's just packed. And that tournament is super dope, but, it doesn't have the cachet. And we know cruiserweight, it don't have no cachet in America. But to back the Super 6, the World Boxing Super Series real quick, they tried to get the 154-pound division to get in the tournament, and a lot of those guys didn't want to compete. A lot of those guys didn't want to be in that tournament, so they turned their eyes to cruiserweight after that, or super middleweight, one of the two. I think it was cruiserweight they turned their eyes to, and that's one of the marvels of boxing tournaments and professional. It sets the platinum standard so far, and it's only at the quarterfinals, and it's only going to get better, and that's the great thing about it. I would love for those cruiserweights to get some TV time. A lot of people say, well, why Al Heyman can't make it happen? For one, Al Heyman only has so many dates for his fighters. So when Richard Schaefer couldn't get Al Heyman fighters in the tournament, whatever reason, if they didn't want to, oblige with Richard Schaefer, or, whatever it was, they didn't want to enter the tournament. I think a lot of them guys didn't want to be in a European-based tournament and have to travel to Europe. That was one of the major issues, especially with a lot of the young talent. And David Benavidez, who could have just, who won a world title outside the tournament. Anthony Durrell, who just don't want to compete and don't want to go to Europe because what happened to his brother versus Carl Froch. Anthony Durrell, Anthony Tabiti wanted to be in it, but, I guess he didn't have enough cachet, enough clout. Caleb Plant, maybe he didn't have enough, enough clout as well. He's a guy that said he outboxed George Groves 50 or 50 rounds, something like that. Jesse Hart and Gilberto Ramirez had a fight already going. Anthony Durrell wasn't going back over there. Badou Jack already moved up. James DeGale already injured, because I said his name because he's been on US TV. We're familiar with him. So, it wasn't too many, a lot of these guys were tied up or just didn't want to make the trip. So that's the issue. If this was a US-based tournament, I think it would be easily getting on TV. With more US fighters or equal US fighters to European fighters, I think, easily. Or if Showtime was in the position it was in when the Super Series tournament was on, when Al Heyman was basically working with HBO, still with Golden Boy. Nobody was exclusively working with Showtime. Showtime was getting the second and third rate fights that HBO and other networks didn't want. Then, if that tournament was going on in that time, Showtime would have picked it up. But Showtime is more now in a position of power now. And they have a lot of stars and they have a lot of dates with CBS, Showtime, now with Fox and everything else. A lot of these guys just they chose not to take the tournament, but I heard it's an outside chance that some of these television networks can pick up the tournament. I heard that in the quarterfinals or the finals it can happen. And of course they're frustrated why it don't happen. They don't understand What I understand and what a lot of people understand is you have to have an American-based star to have some support, and that's hard to find. But you got to have some of those guys for those networks to want to put them on. They don't want Showtime and HBO and True TV, Fox, ESPN. They don't want guys that's not going to that the public don't know, or not going to come back and fight on their TV networks once the tournament is over, or whatever reason it's going to be, because it's a loss for them. They want to be able to continue to work with guys like that and keep showcasing them. And if they want to build a European, they're going to do it like they do in Demetrius Bivol. They're going to build him up from the bottom, and then once he gets to 20, 30 fights, he's going to be a star and doing what he does. So when they want to build Europeans, they build them from the beginning, like Lipinets, Bivol, Kovalev, or right in the thick of their things. But we gone.